Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Allie or Wavy Curly Allie. I'm a healthy hair enthusiast just here sharing my tips and tricks on how to help you love your hair as it is naturally. I have so many products on my lap right now, this is gonna get out of control. Welcome back to episode 2 of Brand Battles, where I pin a brand against itself and its own line of products to see how it performs. As mentioned in my previous videos, brands typically formulate their line to work within itself, so that's exactly what we're gonna test out. Today we are doing Bounce Curl. If you go back to any of my Holy Grail wash days, this product in particular shows up in most of them. And there's a reason, it's just so good. That said, there is a product in this line that I've not had the easiest time getting along with, and that is a fan favorite, the Light Hold Cream Gel. Now, I'm not exactly sure what it is about this product that I've not been able to figure out. We're going to find a way to make this work, because y'all love this for a reason. I just haven't figured it out yet. I will also be showing you the very viral Bounce Curl EdgeLift brushes, which includes the volume brush and the define brush. I've not decided which one I'm going to use yet today. It's a game day decision. We'll figure it out when we get there. So without further ado, let's get in the shower and get this party started. So we meet in my shower again. I'm starting this wash day with the Bounce Curl Pure Silk Moisturizing Shampoo. Gives me a gentle cleanse so my scalp feels nice and refreshed, but it doesn't leave my hair dry or stripped. My curls actually feel soft even after rinsing. Now that my hair is nice and cleansed, I followed up with the Bounce Curl Super Smooth Cream Conditioner. This conditioner has amazing slip, so detangling is super quick and easy. I also love that it gives lightweight hydration, perfect if you have fine to medium hair like me, so my strands feel silky smooth and moisturized without any of the heaviness. Together, these two make wash day super simple, fresh, and way more manageable. We're cleaned, we're conditioned, time to style. We're going to start with a leave-in or a cream. I'm going to be using the Bounce Curl Clump and Define Cream today. This is easily one of my top Holy Grail products. I have been using this cream for probably 6.5 years at this point. And the main difference between a cream and a leave-in is that a cream is supposed to offer a very light hold, whereas a leave-in doesn't typically offer any hold at all. She is thick. So scent-wise, I'd say this has a rose scent, as there is rose oil in here. But I'd also say there's some tropical scent in here as well, but it's primarily a rose scent. This is very moisturizing. This is all I'm going to be using for my entire head of hair. We are going to emulsify it in our hands to make it a little bit easier to spread. This stuff is pretty concentrated, which means this jar lasts a long time. I'm going to show you exactly why you don't need that much. A little goes a long way. Now the website says that this is great for fine, medium, or coarse hair, wavy, curly, or coily hair. My hair is a little bit more on the wet side, but I want to style on not soaking hair today because of the brushes that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to section top half, bottom half. I usually use the tail of my eyebrow and go up on an angle. The reason I do it this way is because I have more layers cut into the top section of my hair. It's easier to manage this way. Okay, it's time for the Light Hold Cream Gel. Again, this is a lighter hold and I don't love light hold products. I said that in my last video, but I do also have the Bounce Curl Hairspray, and this stuff will give anyone a cast. So for this product, it says it's good for fine to medium textured hair. I would say I'm more on the fine side. Good for wavy or curly hair patterns. So my hair is definitely wet. It's not damp, but I wouldn't say it's extremely wet. And the back of the product said I should be using this on extremely wet hair, but because I'm going to be using their styling brush, I don't want it to be soaking wet or the clumps are just going to stick back together. It defeats the purpose of using this. So I'm going to rake this in, and I use about a quarter size amount for each half of my hair. This holds true with most gels. Unless they're very strong hold gels, I don't need to use as much. Now on to the famous, extremely viral Bounce Curl EdgeLift brushes. They have two styles here. One is the Define EdgeLift brush, which creates nice definition. The grooves on the edge create separation and clumping with the hair. And then this is the Define Volume brush. As you can see, the grooves are much closer together. It's going to create much smaller clumps to help kind of stack the hair and create more lift. I'm going to stick with the Define brush. I love the Volume brush. It works beautifully as it's supposed to. I just tend to prefer the results that I get from the Define EdgeLift brush. Because my hair is on the wavier side, especially this bottom layer, I do like to have bigger clumps. And I have heard varying feedback on if you should be holding the brush upright like this or down like this. And I'm gonna be so for real with you, I have not noticed a difference if I do it one way or the other. I would recommend that you experiment with it both ways to see if it changes your result, but if you're like me and it doesn't, hold the brush whichever way feels most comfortable for you. Now I'm going to get my hair into the bristles, turn the brush to the side so that the hair goes into the grooves, and then pull it through. Create some nice clumps. And do this all through your hair in as big or as small sections as you like. Lift up and away for volume. To be honest, I would have loved to offer to do the define brush on one side and the volume brush on the other, but my texture on the left side of my head and the right side of my head are naturally different, so it really wouldn't be a fair assessment as to how each of them works. My texture on my left side has always been a little bit looser, while the right side tends to create more of a spiral on the top layer. So whichever brush gets the right side would just get the benefit of the doubt and make it look a little curlier. But the reality is it's just that way naturally. Now you give your hair a little bit of a shake. The reason I do this is because it helps my ends start to swirl in the direction they want to curl naturally, so that when I do go into scrunch, it doesn't scrunch in weird directions. It's already starting to take the shape and go in the direction that it wants to. Make sure to scrunch all the way up to the root, give it a good pulse, let it go. That's what we look like onto the top. Put the hair behind you, let the top fall forward. As always, if your hair is starting to dry too quickly while you're styling, you can go in with a little bit of water. There is nothing in here, it is just water, it's just ombre down the bottle. Give it a little bit of a mist. Again, I'm going for wet, not soaking. Back in with a quarter size amount of gel, which is about 2 to 2.5 centimeters if you're not in the States. I will say what I find interesting about this gel is that it's seeming to disappear into my hair pretty quickly. Like I'm putting it in, I can see how much I'm putting it in, but I very quickly can't feel it. I feel like that's throwing me off a little bit. For my front fringe, I don't want to brush it forward because it's going to create this weird fringe section that sits and separates from the rest of my hair. So I'm going to kind of pull it back. I really do like a middle part. You can do this without doing a middle part, but I'm going to just pull this back a little bit so we don't have any weird split separation in the back. And the rest is going to be brushed where it wants to fall naturally. My front fringe always dries weird, so we're going to finger curl these. Shake, scrunch. For this light hold cream gel, this is a pretty protein rich product, whereas the cream is not so much. There is a little bit of protein in there, but I would not say it's really a protein heavy product. This has a lot of protein in it. I'll tell you at the end if I think it's worth it. Next up is a favorite of mine. I used to hate this product. Hate is a strong word. Hate is a strong word, but I really didn't like it because of how sticky it was. But once I figured out how to use it in my routine, I can't let it go. And it is the Bounce Curl Hairspray. Strong hold, alcohol free. When I say strong hold, it is a strong hairspray. With Bounce Curl, some of these products are very much so a little goes a long way. I'm going to show you why. Look at my palms where I sprayed this. We're sticky. We're only going to use about 4 to 5 sprays of this all over my hair to create a stronger hold. And that light hold gel is light hold. I want some muscle in my hair today. That's it. Also, I lied, that was 6. Let's get to drying and see how this whole thing turned out. As always, medium heat, high speed, diffusing roots first, cup hovering the lengths. Here we are in a cast. I am getting some really nice definition up here, which I did not expect that to happen. I'm going to take the Bounce Curl Light Oil, I forgot I had this, and use a few drops of this just to help break the cast. I broke the dropper. In my last video, I dropped it on the floor. So I'm just gonna go like this, just to get some on my hands. If you have this, it's about 2 to 3 drops that I use at a time. This is really just to reduce friction in your hair as you're scrunching, help reduce frizz, and soften the cast. Okay, she needs a good fluff. Final reveal together and the screen. One of these days I'm not gonna be, and it's gonna be very disappointing. Okay. Oh my God, you guys, look at this definition. This is nice. Okay, let's turn around and look at it. Did it look okay back there? This is definitely some of the craziest definition that I've ever got. Okay, let's go through what I use. Shampoo and the conditioner back in my shower where they belong. Part of my weekly rotation, I use them often. They're living in my shower. The Bounce Curl Clump and Define Cream. I've been using this for 6.5 years for a reason. Has a perfect hit of moisture, lower on the protein side. A little bit goes a really long way. This jar lasts me forever. The Light Hold Cream Gel, my nemesis. However, the results are speaking for themselves. I think just for me, I can't do a light hold product by itself. What saved me here, the Bounce Curl Hairspray. This stuff is also very little goes a very long way. So these little bottles last me a really long time. If you have a styler that you're using that is a lighter hold that you don't prefer, you can just get a nice alcohol-free hairspray such as this and layer it over the product that you have so you don't have to worry about replacing that gel. Where I will say this fits in nicely, if you do prefer a lighter hold, this has a higher protein content, so if you have damaged hair, bleached hair, I do have highlights, you can see them here. Protein products tend to work really well with damaged hair and help with structure in the waves and curls. I already talked about this. I'll use it any chance I get. The Bounce Curl brushes, specifically the Define EdgeLift brush, does exactly what it is meant to do. It helps distribute the product using these nice bristles, and then the grooves on the side help with this really great definition. So this will clump your hair with very little effort. I always like to apply product first and then use this to help fully distribute over every strand and get those really nice juicy curl clumps. And we finish with the light oil, which I really didn't speak on in the first place because I forgot that I had it. This is a very lightweight blend of oils that quickly absorbs into your hair. You can also use this on your nails, on your cuticles, on your skin, and it is fragrance free. Because of how lightweight this is, I love it for my finer hair, so this would work on most hair types. And I would like to give an honorable mention to the clarifying shampoo and deep conditioner. I do use this as my primary product to clarify my hair, which I do every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how much product I've used in between on my wash days. And I always follow it with a deep conditioner. This is a really thick, rich, deep conditioner, so the two of them pair together perfectly. And that wraps up our second episode of the Brand Battles One Brand Wash Day series with Bounce Curl. Please drop any requests below. If there's a particular brand you'd like to try, please let me know. Your suggestions will be guiding us through this series. And as always, if you can, please like and subscribe, and I'll continue bringing you all the videos you love the most. All right, thanks guys.